The most successful scam of the last century is not in a bank or a boardroom. It is sitting on somebody's finger right now. It convinced almost the entire world that a fairly common rock is rare, priceless, and required by love itself. Here is the part they would rather you not hear: gem diamonds are not actually rare. We dig up so many of them that the whole business depends on hiding most of them in a vault so you never see the pile. The scarcity you are paying for was manufactured, and the tradition you are honoring was written by an advertising agency. I am Sterling, an owl in a pinstripe suit who reads the price tag before he reads the poetry. My whole job is keeping money plain and keeping your money yours. And this is a story about how one company did the opposite for 100 years. So keep one eye on a single number the entire time, the price you could actually sell that stone for tomorrow, because it is the number the whole illusion is built to keep you from checking. Let us start with the lie at the bottom of everything, the idea that a diamond is rare. For most of human history, diamonds genuinely were scarce because almost the only known source was a handful of riverbeds in India. Back then, a diamond really was a king's stone, and that reputation for rarity was earned honestly. Then in the 1870s, everything changed, and it changed in South Africa. Prospectors near a town called Kimberley found diamonds not by the handful, but by the ton. These were not little deposits. They were enormous pipes of diamond-bearing rock running deep into the earth. Suddenly, the world could produce more diamonds in a single year than India had coughed up in centuries. By the ordinary laws of supply and demand, this should have been the end of the diamond as a luxury. Flood any market with a product and the price falls. That is not cynicism, that is just arithmetic. A stone that common should have ended up in roughly the same price range as a nice piece of glass. The men who owned those South African mines understood this danger perfectly. If they all dug as fast as they could and sold everything they found, they would bury their own fortunes. Every extra diamond they pulled out of the ground made all the others worth a little less. So the real product of the diamond business was never the digging, it was the not selling. And that is the strange trick at the heart of this whole story. Scarcity had to be created on purpose. A diamond is valuable for the same reason. A limited edition anything is valuable, because someone is deliberately holding the rest back. Remember that the next time a thing is sold to you as rare, and quietly ask who benefits from you believing it. The men in Kimberley were about to answer that question in the most profitable way imaginable. Into this mess walked a young Englishman named Cecil Rhodes. Rhodes had come to South Africa for his health and stayed for the money, which tends to be the more durable motive. He started not by mining diamonds, but by renting water pumps to the miners who did. While everyone else gambled on finding stones, Rhodes sold shovels or near enough and got paid either way. With those profits, he began quietly buying up claims and mines all around Kimberley. His logic was simple. If too many owners means too many diamonds, then reduce the number of owners. In 1888, Rhodes merged his holdings with his main rival to form a company called De Beers Consolidated Mines. With that one deal, a single company controlled the overwhelming majority of the world's diamond production. Now the arithmetic finally worked in the owner's favor because one hand held the tap. De Beers could decide how many diamonds the world was allowed to see in any given year. Dig up a mountain, release only a trickle, and let the public believe the trickle is all there is. They funneled nearly all the world's rough stones through a single selling channel based in London. A buyer did not haggle. They were handed a sealed box at a set price and told, in effect, take it or leave it. By controlling supply this tightly, De Beers turned a common rock back into a scarce jewel, at least on paper. But controlling supply only solves half the problem, and here is the half that made the real fortune. You can hoard all the diamonds you like, but it means nothing unless people actually want to buy them. By the 1930s, De Beers had a serious demand problem, especially in America. The Great Depression had crushed prices, and diamonds were seen by many as a frivolous expense. Worse, there was no deep tradition forcing anyone to buy one, and many engagement rings were plain bands or other stones entirely. So in 1938, De Beers turned to a Philadelphia advertising agency named N.W. Ayer. The question they asked was not how to sell diamonds, it was how to make people feel they simply had to. The agency's plan was patient and, frankly, brilliant, if you admire that sort of thing. They would not run a sale, they would rewrite the entire culture around love and marriage itself. The stated goal was to make the diamond an indispensable part of every engagement. They fed diamonds to Hollywood so that stars proposed with them on screen and in the gossip columns. They sent lecturers into high schools to talk to teenage girls about the romance of the diamond ring. They planted the size of a celebrity's stone in the newspapers, so readers learned to measure love in carats. Slowly, a want was manufactured into a need, and a need into a rule. Then in 1947, a copywriter at the agency named Frances Garrity was working late on the account. Tired and out of ideas, she scribbled 4 words on a scrap of paper before she went to sleep. The words were, "A diamond is forever." It may be the single most effective sentence in the history of advertising. On the surface, it is a promise about love, an eternal stone for an eternal bond. Underneath, it is one of the most cunning pieces of financial engineering ever written. Because if a diamond is forever, then you never sell it, you keep it, and you pass it down. And if nobody ever sells their diamond, then no flood of secondhand diamonds ever hits the market. That slogan quietly strangled the resale market before it could ever compete with the mines. It protected De Beers from the one rival it could never buy out, all the diamonds already owned by the public. The line has appeared in the company's engagement advertising ever since, and now you know why. With demand handled, the campaign moved on to a more delicate question: how much should a man spend? There was no ancient answer to this, so De Beers simply invented one. Their advertising floated the idea that a man should spend about a month's salary on the ring. Later, when they wanted people to spend more, that guideline conveniently rose to 2 months' salary. Think about how strange that is. The seller of a product got to define what you owe your own fiancé. That number was never a tradition, it was a sales target, adjusted whenever the company wanted a bigger receipt. By the end, De Beers had not just cornered the diamonds, it had written the rules for how you were supposed to buy them. Now let us finally check that number I asked you to watch, the resale price. Here is where the romance meets the receipt, and the receipt wins. The moment you walk a diamond ring out of the store, it behaves a lot like a new car driven off the lot. That retail price included a heavy markup for the store, the brand, and a century of advertising, none of which you can resell. If you try to sell that ring back, jewelers will typically offer you only a fraction of what you paid. Estimates vary by stone, but it is common to be offered somewhere around half of the purchase price or even less. The very slogan that made you buy it, "A diamond is forever," is the reason you cannot get your money back. A culture where almost nobody resells means there is no strong secondhand market to give your stone a fair price. So the thing sold to you as a store of value, an heirloom, an asset, is really a consumption purchase. That is not an insult. A diamond can be genuinely beautiful and meaningful, and buying one can be a perfectly happy choice. I only want you to buy it knowing exactly what it is, a lovely thing you are consuming, not an investment you are making. Call a purchase by its real name and you will never be quite so easy to fool. And lately, the whole illusion has started to crack in a way De Beers cannot advertise its way out of. First, the monopoly broke, as new mines in Russia, Australia, and Canada refused to sell only through De Beers. At its peak, the cartel is estimated to have controlled somewhere around 80 to 90% of the world's rough diamonds, and today it controls far less. Then came the real earthquake, the lab-grown diamond. A lab-grown diamond is not a fake. It is chemically and physically a real diamond, grown in a machine in a matter of weeks. An expert needs specialized equipment to tell one from a mined stone, because there is essentially nothing to tell apart. And because you can simply make more of them on demand, their price has collapsed, often costing a fraction of a mined stone. In just a few years, lab-grown stones have taken a large share of the engagement ring market. The scarcity story does not survive in a world where the rare rock can be printed to order. De Beers has been forced to cut its rough diamond prices, and it even launched, then backed away from, its own lab-grown brand. The company that spent a century manufacturing scarcity is now watching technology manufacture the exact opposite. So there is your number, and now you know why they spent 100 years hoping you would never look it up. The diamond on the finger was never rare, never an asset, and never a tradition, until an agency invented one to sell you. The plain money truth is this: most of what gets sold to you as priceless is really just well marketed, and the price you could resell it for tells you which is which. If you would rather build wealth the boring way that actually works, subscribe. I keep it plain and I keep your money yours.